I'm issuing a final warning regarding the state of your property.
We are fully compliant. You need to respect this restraining order, ma'am.
My name is Alex, and I never imagined that moving into a quiet suburban neighborhood would turn into a battle of wills, paperwork, and pure nonsense. But I guess that's what you get when you step into the territory of the Mapleton Ridge HOA, or as some neighbors called it, the Kingdom of Karen. I moved into Mapleton Ridge after a tough year. Between recovering from a car accident and transitioning to working from home, peace and quiet were my top priorities. I brought with me the one companion who had kept me sane through everything. My service dog, Juno. Juno isn't just any dog. She's trained to alert me during medical episodes, and she's the calmest, most well-behaved dog you'd ever meet. Kids love her. Neighbors adored her. Even the mailman gave her treats. But there was one person who didn't share the sentiment. HOA President, Ms. Evelyn Marsh. Imagine the exact personality of someone who would measure your grass with a ruler. That was Evelyn. Tall blonde hair forced into a bun, clipboard glued to her hand, and a stare sharp enough to peel paint. It didn't take long before she made herself known. It was my third day at the house. Juno and I were out front, unpacking boxes from the truck when I heard the familiar click-click-click of heels stomping down the sidewalk. I turned, and there she was, Evelyn. New resident, she said without so much as a hello. Yep. Just moved in. I'm Alex. She ignored my outstretched hand. Her eyes went straight to Juno. And, this? I smiled. This is Juno. My service dog. Evelyn's lips tightened into a thin line, like she had just tasted something sour. We do not allow animals over 30 pounds in Mapleton Ridge, she said. Your dog clearly exceeds that. I blinked. I couldn't believe what she said next. You'll need to remove it from the property within 7 days. I laughed at first. Genuinely laughed. No, ma'am. Juno is a certified service animal. Evelyn tapped her clipboard. Well, the HOA bylaws. The law, I interrupted gently, is above your bylaws. Her eyes narrowed. That's when I knew I had to fight back. Because this woman wasn't just misinformed, she was looking for a fight. Over the next few days, I received no fewer than 5 violation letters. All about Juno. Improper pet size. Unregistered animal. Disturbance potential. Aesthetic disruption, seriously. And the best one, possible threat to community harmony. I kept every letter, neatly stacked in a folder. On day 8, I attended my first HOA board meeting. Evelyn sat at the head of the table like a queen guarding her throne. Mr. Alex, she began, we have warned you multiple times. The dog must be removed. It's a service dog, I repeated calmly. We don't recognize that, she said. I heard murmurs. Even some board members looked uncomfortable. I took a deep breath. With all due respect, you don't need to recognize anything. Federal law overrides HOA rules. And legally, you can't require me to remove my service dog. Evelyn slammed her pen down. This is MY community. We follow MY rules. I couldn't believe she actually said that. One board member, Mr. Lopez, cleared his throat. I think he's right, Evelyn. Service animals are. Enough, she snapped. She turned to me. Final warning. Remove the dog or face escalating fines. That's when I knew this wasn't a misunderstanding. This was war. A week later, the confrontation escalated in a way no one expected. I had been home working when I felt lightheaded, an early sign of an episode one occasionally experience. Before I even realized what was happening, Juno nudged my leg, barked sharply, and led me to sit on the floor. Within minutes, the episode passed safely because of her. And then. Bam bam bam. A furious pounding shook my front door. It was Evelyn. "Your dog was barking," she said. "That is a noise violation." I stared at her, still shaky. "That bark saved me from passing out." She rolled her eyes. "That sounds like an excuse." I felt anger rise in my chest. "Look," I said, "you're crossing a line. You can't bully me, and you can't bully my service dog." She stepped closer. "I can and I will. And if you don't comply, we'll start fining you $500 a day." I closed the door. And that's when I decided. I wasn't just going to fight back. I was going to end this. I documented everything. Every violation letter. Every threat. Every conversation. Even a recording of her saying, "This is my community." I also gathered my medical documentation. Juno's certification. Federal ADA guidelines. A statement from my doctor. Finally, I contacted a lawyer who specialized in HOA cases. When he saw the massive folder of evidence, he let out a low whistle. "You're not just going to win," he said. "You're going to make an example out of them." We sent the board an official ADA violation notice, demanding the removal of all fines, a formal apology, immediate policy correction, mandatory disability training for all board members. And if they refused, we'd move directly to a federal lawsuit. The next HOA meeting was memorable. Dozens of residents showed up, apparently word had spread. Evelyn looked furious as she walked in. The lawyer handed her the ADA violation packet. Her face drained of color. "This isn't real," she whispered. "Oh, it's real," my lawyer said. One board member leaned over and muttered, "I told you we couldn't do this." But Evelyn exploded. "This is ridiculous. It's just a dog." My lawyer calmly replied. "It's a service animal. And your actions violated federal law." Neighbors gasped and murmured. Evelyn slammed her fist on the table. "I will not apologize." The board voted. She was overruled. Unanimously. The board issued a full written apology. Policy revisions. Removal of all fines. And Evelyn Marsh was removed as HOA president pending investigation. She stormed out, red-faced, shaking with rage. That's when I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Relief. 2 weeks later, the HOA sent a community-wide announcement. Mandatory disability awareness training. New service animal accommodations. Revised enforcement policies. And new leadership elections. The neighborhood changed overnight. People smiled more. Rules were enforced fairly. No more harassment. As for Evelyn, she tried to run for president again. But not a single person voted for her. She eventually moved out. The house sold. Peace returned. And Juno? She still trots proudly through the neighborhood. Tail wagging, tongue out, adored by everyone. Sometimes neighbors say, "You really shook things up around here." And I smile and say, I didn't do it alone. Juno helped. Stand your ground. Know your rights. Bullies only win when you stay silent. Whether it's an HOA or a person in power. The truth, patience, and persistence will always beat intimidation.